Hey girl, yes, you. You are seen, you are loved, and you were made for more. Created especially for teen girls, chart-topping Christian artist Ann Wilson invites you to her 40-day devotional, Hey Girl, through honest stories, scripture, and journal prompts. Ann talks about real struggles, comparison, insecurity, doubt, and faith, reminding you that God is always near and fighting for you. Hey Girl, from K-Love Books. Get your copy today at klove.com/books.
One of these men is a highly respected New York attorney, Lucas A. Ferrara. The other is a self-proclaimed man of the people, known as Mert Roberts. Their aim is to discuss the hottest issues impacting our city, state, and nation. Fasten your seatbelts. Shake it off with Mert and Lucas. Live starts now on AM 970. The Answer.
Well, that sounds like Jingle Bells to me, Ryan.
Well, you would be correct about that. And to start hour 2 here, we got the swinging jazz version of Jingle Bells by Emron. A pretty jolly way to open hour number 2.
Well, given that Christmas is only days away, I figured we start off this hour talking about someone who's probably one of the most recognizable figures in the entire world. Do you have any idea who that is, Mert?
Me, Mert.
The Mertnator.
Yeah.
The Mertnator.
Me. I'm going with me.
If it's not him, it's me, Lucas.
What do you
One
think?
of us.
Who is the most recognizable figure other than Mert in the entire world?
Barack
Alex
Obama.
Garrett.
Yeah,
Who?
Barack Obama. Barack Obama. That's what we going with.
Oh, come on, guys. Of course, it's Santa Claus. Give yourself a zonk. Give him the zonks, please. His image transcends borders, languages, and religions. He appears everywhere, from shopping malls in New York to billboards in Tokyo. For children, he's the magical figure who brings gifts, joy, and wonder. For adults, he's a nostalgic reminder of childhood innocence. Yet, Mert, under that red suit and twinkling eyes lies a more complicated story. He's not just a harmless myth. He's also a cultural construct shaped by commerce, policy, and social control. So let's talk about the paradox that is Santa Claus, how he also embodies harmless fun and cultural manipulation. Now, by tracing his origins, examining his commercialization, analyzing his role in social conditioning, and considering his impact, we can see how Santa reflects both the best and the worst of modern culture. But before we deep dive into that, let me ask you, Mert, do you believe in Santa Claus?
Well, yeah, I do, and I'm saying that so I can protect the innocent. There might be some innocent ones out there who I'm going to protect, but I believe in the spirit of Santa Claus, and that's real. That's realer than anything there could be. The spirit of Santa Claus. I don't know if there's a real Saint Nick, but I believe in the spirit of Santa Claus.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I feel like I have to go that route, too, just in case there's some 5-year-olds listening to this show in the car right about now. You know, Santa Claus, he's 100% real. So is the Tooth Fairy.
Amen.
And the Easter Bunny, all of those imaginary characters.
Well, guys, among adults, polls consistently show that belief in Santa Claus is higher than you might think. A 2022 survey found that 21% of U.S. adults say they believe in Santa Claus. 21%. That's roughly 1 in 5 Americans. That's a significant minority in our country where Christmas is both a religious and cultural juggernaut. But belief is not evenly distributed. Older Americans, particularly those raised in Christian households, are more likely to believe. Yet even among non-religious Americans, Mert, Santa is a cultural symbol. Many Americans who don't literally believe in his existence still participate in rituals, writing notes from Santa on gift tags, staging Santa visits, or decorating with his image. And the poll reveals broader attitudes about Christmas. 3/4 of Americans said the country has forgotten the real meaning of the holiday, with 42% strongly agreeing. That's huge, Mert. 75% say say we've forgotten the real meaning of Christmas. Do you agree?
Well, I kind of have to agree. I mean, how could you disagree with that? Because it's a lot of truth.
Well, you usually disagree with everything, so I'm shocked.
That's not true. That's not true. But how could you disagree? How could you disagree with what you said? I mean, I could have said that better myself.
But you don't want to finish your comment? I mean, for many, the true meaning of Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus, which for Christians represents God's love, hope, and salvation. Beyond its religious roots, it's also come to symbolize generosity, peace, and goodwill toward others. So it's not so much a religious experience, but it's about love and hope and goodwill. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, think about it. You know, you feel like a lot of people say, thank you, Jesus, when they get that new car. So, I mean, it can be interpreted as a religious experience when you get that item you've been dreaming of, and Christmas comes and, wow, I got the new PlayStation. Oh, my goodness, God is good. So it can be transferred to that instead of just sitting back and saying, you know, I've had a good life this year. I'm just thankful for that. Because a lot of people don't, you know, have that type of reflection unless something tragic happens. So, you know, you put your trust in the Lord, and you hope that when you open your present, it is something other than an ugly sweater or some jeans or some clothes that you don't really need. You put your faith and you say, thank God that I got that video game or I got that new bicycle. That's where the religious experience comes into, the joy that people get when they receive something that they really wanted.
You know, children are at the heart of Santa belief, and developmental psychologists have indicated that most kids stop believing around age 8. But some as early as 6, others as late as 12 or 13. A 2024 study found that 1/3 of children reported negative emotions when they discovered Santa wasn't real. Half of adults recalled similar feelings from their own childhood. So are we reinforcing, making this whole idea of Santa a negative experience when somehow the truth is revealed? This doesn't seem to be a healthy maneuver. What do you think, Mert?
Well, I think you gotta, at a certain point, you know, wisen kids up to that. You know, you can sit on that guy's lap in the mall with the Santa Claus suit on, but if you see a Santa Claus in an alley or something like that, don't sit on his lap, because, you know, Santa Claus is... Because you might think that he can be everywhere at once, because that's the narrative that, oh, he's going to deliver toys to everybody. But as we know, there's a lot of people out there that will mimic and imitate that Santa Claus and do some negative stuff with that. So you got to wisen kids up. So I don't think that diminishes the spirit, because you can always remind them that be very thankful and appreciative to what you've been given. I don't care who's giving it to you. You can always instill that in children.
Well, Santa's story began with St. Nicholas of Myra, a 4th century bishop in what is now Turkey. And known for his generosity, Nicholas became a legendary figure in Christian tradition. Tales of him secretly leaving coins in shoes or rescuing kids from poverty spread across Europe, and over centuries these stories merged with local folklore. Now, Clement Clark Moore's 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, introduced the sleigh, reindeer, and chimney descent. So what do you think of that, Mert? 1823 is when that construct came to be. And by the late 1800s, Santa was firmly embedded in American culture, a hybrid of a religious saint and a secular folk hero. Now, the 20th century transformed Santa from folklore into a marketing powerhouse, and that's where the sad part of this story begins. You know, from mall Santas to where children were lining up requesting gifts, and then parents were compelled to go buy them. But the most influential moment, believe it or not, Mert, came in the 1930s when Coca-Cola launched its Santa advertising campaign. And artist Haddon Sundblom painted Santa as a rosy-cheeked white, red-suited figure enjoying Coke. And that's the image, the Coca-Cola image from the 1930s, Mert, that cemented the modern Santa that we know today. He was made up by Coca-Cola.
Well, it's a good thing that they made him, overweight, because, there's the knock against Coca-Cola that if you drink Coca-Cola, well, if Santa looks like that already, then we can say it's not because of the Coca-Cola. He's just a big, fat, jolly guy. So that's a good marketing campaign. Hey, this guy's already fat like this. He's just enjoying a nice soda. So that image is a nice image. Rosy cheeks, white beard, not threatening. That's the perfect image. So that's the one we should really go with, unless you have a better idea.
Now, some critics say Santa is also guilty of social control, that he's a tool of social conditioning, and that his naughty or nice list teaches kids that behavior is being monitored, and parents invoke Santa to enforce discipline. Be good or Santa won't bring you presents. Now, apparently some experts think that's a bad thing because it reinforces this myth to behave well because they'll be rewarded for behaving well. It reinforces this consumerism, and that kind of magical thinking may not be necessarily helpful because according to the experts, this is what they say, Mert. The experts say it equates morality with consumption. Good behavior earns gifts. In that sense, it's not harmless fun. It's a cultural script embedding obedience and consumerism into childhood. What do you think of that?
Well, there's a reason why when people need money, they don't go rob a bank. It's because you don't want to go to jail. So you need incentives to keep people from doing bad stuff or to do something great. Like, hey, be a good kid, get good grades, and Santa Claus, a.k.a. Mom and Dad, will bring you whatever you're asking for. So I don't mind that. These are people who are trying to be a little bit too academic, and they're not realizing, hey, be glad that people are doing something good, regardless of what the reason is. Just be glad that they're not doing bad stuff and saying, well, I shouldn't be doing good stuff just because Santa says it, so I'm going to do the bad thing. So, the reverse of that doesn't even make sense to me.
Well, they're saying that Santa somehow reinforces conformity, and it equates.
Listen, I like conformity. I don't want everybody speaking 15 different languages and having 15 different currencies. There's a reason why the United States works. We want everybody to speak English. We don't have too many different ways of doing things in America. It's English, the dollar, and we go from there. Everybody's pretty much on the same page. Conformity is good. I like conformity. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be an individual, but you need to really conform in order to make it great for the most people.
Brian, what do you think? Well, it looks like we lost Ryan. Are you there, Ryan?
Oh, yes, I am, for sure. I mean, you both brought us.
We lost you, and because of that, you're naughty, and you're not getting a holiday present from Santa Claus. How's that for conforming?
So
but you know what time it is.
Coal, huh?
You know what time it is because you missed the cue. So I'm giving you the cue now. You know what time it is, Ryan?
What time?
It's time. Oh, my God. Did you get your engineering degree or what? Oh, my God. You know what that music means, Mert? It's time for Santa Claus trivia. Ready for some fun facts about Santa Claus, Mert?
Let's go.
There we go. Now it's multiple choice. Pick the right answer. Here we go. Number one. And Ryan, you're playing along. In what country did the tradition of St. Nicholas giving gifts originate? In what country did the tradition of St. Nicholas giving gifts originate? A, Italy. B, Greece. C, Germany. D, France. Mert.
I think Germany. I don't know.
Okay, Mert says Germany. Ryan?
I mean, you know me, Lucas. I'm Italian at heart. I gotta go with my homeland right here. Italia all the way.
Give yourself zonks, please. Both of you get zonks. The correct answer was B, Greece. St. Nicholas was a Greek bishop from the ancient city of Myra, as I said before, located in what is now Turkey, but culturally part of the Greek world at the time. He became famous for his generosity, especially his habit of giving gifts anonymously to those in need. So we start off with 0 for Mert,
That
and
makes
0.
sense. St. Nicholas. That OUS is a Greek type of ending.
Okay, here's a tough one. Ready for the number 2. What was Santa's suit color before Coca-Cola popularized red? What was the color? Ready? A, blue. B, green. C, purple. D, gold. What was Santa's suit color before Coca-Cola took over his imaging?
B, green.
Green. B. Brian?
1,000% it's B.
Really? Why do you say 1,000%?
Well, Lucas, I know this answer off the top of my head. I am very much a history buff. I knew Santa's suit color was 1,000% green before Coca-Cola added their stamp on him.
Well, that's right. Then give yourself both the winning bells. 1-1. Before Coca-Cola standardized the red suit, artists across Europe depicted him in a wide range of colors. Green was especially common in British imagery of Father Christmas, who symbolized the spirit of winter and the renewal of nature. So there was various colors, but green appears to have been the most prevalent prior to Coca-Cola. 3. How many reindeer traditionally pull Santa's sleigh? How many reindeer traditionally pull Santa's sleigh? A, 6. B, 8. C, 9. D, 10. Mert.
Let's go with 10.
He says D. And Ryan.
Well, Lucas, I just counted in my head during the last question, so I'm going to go C, number 9.
Are you cheating? You give yourself a winning bell. That's pretty good. The number of reindeer, Mert, 9. The original 8 came from the 1823 poem that I spoke about earlier.
I don't remember all the names, so I couldn't do it real quick.
Also, you can't really cheat if you just reciting the song
Dasher,
in your
Dancer,
head.
Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen.
And
That's what I don't remember. I don't remember the names. I don't remember the names.
But Rudolph became the 9th reindeer in 1939, and he was introduced by Robert L. May for a Montgomery Ward holiday booklet with glowing red nose and all that other good stuff. So far, we've got 2 for Pagano, 1 for Mert, and we still have time, right, Ryan, for a few more questions? How we doing?
Oh, yeah, we got a few more minutes here.
Which country officially issued Santa Claus a pilot's license in 1927? What country gave Santa a pilot license in 1927? A, United States. B, Canada. C, Finland. D, Norway.
Norway. That's got to be Norway.
D, Norway. Says D, Norway. Brian?
You know, unlike the last two, I actually don't know the answer to this one, so I'm going to go ahead and guess A, the United States of America, you know, mainly because of how much Santa is in cahoots with NORAD every holiday season. So I'm going to go with A, United States.
Look at this guy with his Santa theories. That's
In
impressive.
1927, the United States Department of Commerce issued Santa Claus an official pilot license as a light-hearted gesture recognizing his annual world flight. So very good. Give yourself a winning bell, Pagano.
With pleasure.
It's now 3 Pagano, 1 the Mertinator. So you're not Santa Claus person, are you, Mert? Well, let me see.
Or maybe I'm throwing a game to be in the Christmas spirit.
Oh, that would be cheating, throwing a game. Number 5, question number 5. You still have a chance to redeem yourself, Mert. What is Santa Claus called in France? A, Father Christmas. B, Père Noël. C, Weihnachtsmann. I can't even say it. Weihnachtsmann.
Well, we know that's not it.
Yeah, that's not it. D, Kris Kringle. Which one is it?
So we're going to have to go with B. Okay, that's the one I'm going with.
Because
that third one sounds German, and the last one, Chris
German. I
Kringle,
can't
sounds
even say
American. So
B is Mert. You're locked in, Mert. Ryan.
Yeah, I can't say I know this one either. I'm just going to go ahead and guess B.
It is now 4-2. Very good. You both get a winning bell there. In France,
smart.
Santa Claus is known as Père Noël, which translates directly to Father Christmas, of course. Okay, we have, I think, time. This is going to get tough now. Number 6. What illustrator helped create the modern, jolly, red-suited image of Santa? This is a tough one if you don't know the whole history here. A. Thomas Nast. B. Norman Rockwell. C. Hayden Sundblom. D. Charles Dickens. Which illustrator helped create the modern, jolly, red-suited image of Santa? Mert.
Oh, that's easy. It's C. It's C. I know that one. It's C.
C. And Alex?
Alex?
Oh, I'm
I love
sorry,
how we
Ryan.
both said that at the same time, Mert, but I'm going to go A, Thomas Nast.
Why A?
Well, it's literally in your script, Lucas.
What do you mean it's
look
in the
at this.
script?
Look
Let's
at it.
see
Look.
here. Illustrator Thomas Nast later standardized Santa's appearance. Plump, jolly,
you
and
kidding- are you kidding me?
Bertrand Red.
Are you kidding me?
You're paying attention. He's paying attention. Very good. That's 5-3. 5 for I don't know why I keep saying Alex. Ryan and 3 for
You can
Mark.
call me Alex if you want.
I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, now this is a strange one. In the Netherlands, Santa's alter ego, Sinterklaas, doesn't arrive by sleigh. How does he traditionally travel? We have by horse, by boat, by train, or by hot air balloon? Mert, we're running out of time.
Well, sleigh. What? That's common sense. Sleigh. The sleigh ride.
Hurry up, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say by sleigh too, but by horse specifically.
It's by boat. So the correct answer, you both are. But Ryan wins 5-3. So congratulations. How much time do we have left, Ryan?
Less than a minute.
Well, I'd like to bid you welcome to Shake It Off with Mert and Lucas Live. This is Lucas. You've heard from the Mertinator, Mert Roberts, and that's Ryan Pagano working the board. He's got a great podcast. Check it out. When we come back, we'll be joined by Dr. Tony Silard. He's got a great book. It's called Love and Suffering. So we'll be talking to him after the break. Dr. Silard, author of Love and Suffering, is here to help you swap conflict for connection. Don't miss it. Your relatives will thank you later. More when we come back.
Over the last 30 years, Newman Ferrara, a New York City law firm, has evolved into a national practice focused on real estate, commercial, litigation, civil rights, class actions, and other complex litigation, representing many of the city's largest property owners, managing agents, and thousands of tenants. Newman Ferrara handles some of the nation's most significant class actions and civil rights matters. Newman Ferrara at 1250 Broadway in New York City. Go online to newmanferrara.com. That's newmanferrara.com. Listen to the firm's name partner, Lucas Ferrara, every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Dottie Herman's longest-running real estate radio program, Eye on Real Estate on AM 970. A real estate lawyer for 35 years, Lucas is a professor at New York Law School and is also a published author with books on real estate and New York's landlord-tenant law. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to hear Lucas's unique perspective and advice on Eye on Real Estate.
Wish there was an easier way to navigate the world of real estate? If only there was a way to learn from the best. Well, now there is. Saturdays at 10 a.m., our very own Dottie Herman, Vice Chair of Douglas Elliman, gives you the inside track to what is hot in real estate. Stay one step ahead in today's seller's market as Dottie gives her tips on how to make it through the tricky waters of real estate. Doesn't matter if you're new to the game or a seasoned vet, you need to listen to Eye on Real Estate. Dottie and her terrific team of experts will guide you as sellers and buyers to make sure you're getting the best value for your property. Whether you want to become a real estate agent or work within the business, there's no better person to learn from than the great Dottie Herman. She's a legend. She's the best. period. Tune in to Eye on Real Estate, Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on AM 970, The Answer. That's Eye on Real Estate. Don't miss it, Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on AM 970, The Answer.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that they are making it through. They want to thank you for your continued support by passing on some Christmas specials to our listeners. Get the Children's Bible Story Pillow 5-pack for $29.98. My Slippers with a free bottle of leather protected spray for $39.98. Blankets, comforters, duvets for as low as $25. And a blowout sale on the standard MyPillow for just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-651-0798 and use the promo code JOEP to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens, $18.99. Kings, only $1 more. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty. They are also extending their 60-day money-back guarantee. Orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2026.
Welcome back to Shake It Off with Mert and Lucas, live on AM 970, The Answer.
While many of us believe this is the happiest time of the year, here's something most people don't know. This stretch of time between now and New Year's is actually when relationships take a nosedive, the biggest hit. Our next guest says 70% of breakups happen now during the holiday season. That's 70%, Mert. Did you know that?
Well, I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. So that kind of makes sense to me. You want to get out of giving a gift.
It does make sense. It does, because the gift buying, the family gatherings, the social obligations, it can all turn into one giant emotional pressure cooker. How do we address that? Well, we figured we'd kick the discussion off by bringing today's guest into the conversation. Dr. Tony Silard is a leading voice on relationships, emotional intelligence, healing, and personal transformation. He's the author of a great book. It's called Love and Suffering: Break the Emotional Chains That Prevent You from Experiencing Love. Ooh, I bet we could all use advice from that book. It flips a lot of our assumptions about love right on their head. He's counseled countless couples through rough patches, and he brings a perspective that's both deeply researched and deeply human. In the book, Dr. Silard lays out his love progression model, a journey through acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, and ultimately love. He reframes suffering not as something that blocks connection, but as something that can actually lead us toward deeper, more meaningful relationships. With his mix of scholarship, emotional insight, and hands-on coaching, Dr. Silard has become a powerful guide for anyone trying to understand how our inner wounds shape the way we love. He helps people repair, rebuild, and rethink the way they relate to themselves and to others. Welcome to the program, Dr. Silard.
Lucas, it's an honor to be here with you. Thanks for inviting me on.
And you're live with us from Rome, Italy. What a era un piacere, grazie tanto. Now, so Doc, we all know.
Parli molto bene, Lucas. Parli molto bene.
I think I messed up the grammar a little bit, but that's okay. So Doc, we all know the holidays can crank up the stress for couples. So how do we break that cycle and keep things turning into a full-blown meltdown?
Well, I think recognizing that we experience this kind of toxic emotional cocktail during the holidays, and especially leading up to the holidays. So, I mean, for one, there's just a ton of stress because everyone's trying to finish whatever they couldn't get done throughout the year. I think a lot of us associate our worth with our work, which is really unfortunate because our worth goes way beyond that. But we in these last days leading up to the holidays, we sometimes want to kind of move the needle and really see that we're making major progress. You know, I suffer from this myself. Last year, I was really trying to finish up a research paper before the holidays, and I was so focused on it, I didn't even pay attention to how my body felt, and I was cold, and I got a fever, and it ruined the Christmas. And I mean, I spent like a week in bed, and it just was a reminder to me not to overdo it. So that's, there's stress, there's anxiety. Anxiety was called by Freud an emotion without an object. And that's where we feel like there's a threat to our identity, to our existence, but we're just not quite sure what it is. And I think this happens a lot, especially in couples as we're approaching the holidays. It's kind of like, okay, so is this the right relationship? Is this working? Is this the kind of identity I want to have, being partnered with this person? All of that comes to a head at the holidays. There's also a lot of nostalgia. We think about our family, the holidays we spent in times past with our loved ones, and so a lot of comparison going on. It's kind of like, okay, does this relationship match up to the love I experienced before?
But Doc, let me ask you a stupid question. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a little introspection? What's wrong with saying, maybe this isn't working? I'm not following the larger point that you're trying to make.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's in a sense, that's what relationships are. It's kind of like we start the race with many people and we only finish with one if we're lucky. So leading up to all that, when we're in relationships, we the holidays, like it or not, becomes a time for introspection, a time for reflection, a time to kind of assess where we are in the relationship.
Well, the way I look at it is like this, Doc, is
watch out for the Murdinator, Doc. It's the Murdinator.
Yeah,
bring it on.
Take a step back, Lucas. You're always trying to embarrass me. But I'll say this. There's only one Michael Jordan. There's only one LeBron James. When I say that, I'm saying to be great at something, it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. And a lot of people want these ultimate successful relationships, right? But they don't put in the work to become the LeBron James or Michael Jordan of having a relationship.
Interesting.
So
That's a great point.
So
That's
most
a great
people,
point.
yeah. So most people have a regular, average, mediocre relationship because that's the effort they're giving to them. So can you speak to that mentality? Because it takes a lot of work to be great, and a lot of people don't understand that going into relationships.
Also, it requires a lot of work, too. That's a good point, Bert. Go ahead, Doc.
Well, I think, Mert, you're right on target here, because I think what most of us do, and actually, there's a tremendous amount of loneliness as the holidays approach, too, as we're thinking about, why isn't my intimate relationship as close as some other, my friends, the relationships they have, or why aren't my friendships as close as my friends' friendships are, or others' friendships? And we do all this comparison. But I think you're right on target there, Mert, because what we tend to focus on, the reason I brought up loneliness is because loneliness has a really strong narcissistic component where it's like, why aren't I being treated better by others? Why aren't others making me more of a priority? But we rarely ask, why aren't I treating others better? Why aren't I giving more to others, making them more of a priority? And I think it's similar in a close relationship where we're really looking at things and saying, well, why isn't this fantastic, like you mentioned Michael Jordan, why isn't this the ultimate relationship? But when we think that, we're just thinking about what we receive. We're not thinking about what we give. So I think if you want to meet the right person, you first have to become the right person. And a lot of us, because we're so focused on what others give to us, which puts us in a kind of victim position, instead of hey, what can I do to really show this person I care about them?
Do you feel like the capitalist mindset has pushed us in that direction where I got to get paid, I got to get money? It's not about family relationships. It's about become the most successful person I can be. So that pushes people to focus on that. Like you said earlier, versus focusing on something like, oh man, people get divorced every day. The divorce rate is so high. So don't even worry about that. Worry about being a mega star or, getting promoted 20 times. Do you think that's the case?
I think you're right. I think it is the case, Mert. And I think that one thing so the capitalist mindset is really about like, show me the money, show me the results, show me the outcomes, right? And then let me use that to see how I stack up against others. And I think the problem with that is that when we try to be great, we don't end up very great. We don't even end up very good. I think one thing I often teach people is don't try to be great, just be consistently good. So like being able to detach from the external results and connect with the internal, like within yourself and within others. That's where connection lies.
So try to get better 1% each day instead of trying to get better 50% or 100% each day. Is that something that you like that type of mentality? Just get better consistently.
Yes. Yes, you're right. I think it's so imagine a swimmer, okay? Like she's trying to swim, like let's say like a 1 mile open water swim to an island. And now if she starts thinking about like that finish line and she wants to get there first, and getting to the island first, she becomes overwhelmed. She's like, oh, there's all these good swimmers and it's so far and et cetera, et cetera. Whereas if she instead says, I'm just going to focus, instead of like worrying about the results, I'm going to focus on the process. I'm going to focus on how I swim. I'm going to focus on my technique, the rhythm of my body, my breathing.
Hey, Doc, hold that thought because we have to focus on a commercial break. But when we have no fear, when we return, Dr. Silard will rejoin us for more about the doctor and his book. Check out his website, theartoflivingfree.org. Of course, we'll have links posted on our website, shakeitofflive.com. Mert, Alex, Gabby, Dr. Silard, and I hope you'll stay right where you are. If you'd rather avoid turning holiday dinner into a breakup sequel, don't touch that dial. Dr. Silard will be right back after these messages.
Over the last 30 years, Newman Ferrara, a New York City law firm, has evolved into a national practice focused on real estate, commercial, litigation, civil rights, class actions, and other complex litigation, representing many of the city's largest property owners, managing agents, and thousands of tenants. Newman Ferrara handles some of the nation's most significant class actions and civil rights matters. Newman Ferrara at 1250 Broadway in New York City. Go online to newmanferrara.com. That's newmanferrara.com. Listen to the firm's name partner, Lucas Ferrara, every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Dottie Herman's longest-running real estate radio program, Eye on Real Estate on AM 970. A real estate lawyer for 35 years, Lucas is a professor at New York Law School and is also a published author with books on real estate and New York's landlord-tenant law. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to hear Lucas's unique perspective and advice on Eye on Real Estate.
Salem News Channel, your go-to source for news and conservative opinion. We reveal how politics hits home, how your family, your freedoms, your way of life are debated, challenged, even regulated. Every day we cut through the noise, pitting nonsense against common sense. On every screen, in every home, Salem News Channel is across America.
This holiday, treat yourself. Step into quality comfort shoe, boots, sneakers, even house slippers. Air Comfort Shoes Long Island has it all. All sizes and widths, sizes 4 to 16, narrow, medium, wide, extra wide, and extra, extra wide. A great gift idea. We ship it free and return in-store, online, or by phone order. Visit aircomfortshoes.com. That's aircomfortshoes.com. Or call 1-800-681-SHOE. That's 1-800-681-SHOE or 1-800-681-7463. That's 1-800-681-7463 or aircomfortshoes.com. SailorStreet.com. Shoes, boots, and sneakers, all major brands including SAS, Hoka, New Balance, Echo, Riker, Picolinos, Ara, Timberland, Dunham, Springstep, Monroe, Drew, Mephisto, Brooks, Samuel Hubbard, and much more. Use our holiday coupon for the lowest price guaranteed. Life is a journey. Wear comfortable shoes. 1-800-681-SHOE. 1-800-681-SHOE or 1-800-681-7463. That's 1-800-681-SHOE or AirComfortShoes.com. Home of the world's finest footwear.
Want to listen to AM 970 The Answer on the go? There's an app for that. Download our free smartphone app so you can listen to all your favorite shows, keep up with us on social media, enter contests, win prizes, and even interact with our hosts, all in one place. Just search AM 970 The Answer in the iPhone App Store or the Google Play Store for the Android. Again, search AM 970 The Answer and download our smartphone app today. That way, you can take us wherever you go.
Welcome back to Shake It Off with Mert and Lucas, live on AM 970, The Answer.
Speaking with Dr. Tony Silard. He's a globally respected scholar and coach specializing in emotional intelligence, relationship healing, and the psychology of love. In his book, Love and Suffering, he introduces the love progression model, showing how acceptance, forgiveness, and gratitude can transform suffering into deeper connection and lasting fulfillment. For more about the good doctor and his book, check out his website, theartoflivingfree.org. Of course, we'll have the link posted on our website, shakeitofflive.com. So, Doc, you were talking about the swimmer, and you said she sees the goal at the end or whatever. Good. Why don't you finish your thought, because I had to interrupt you for the commercial.
So the idea is she's swimming this open water swim, and if she just focuses on the goal, like as most of us are taught, most of our lives, just like winning and goals, then if that's all she focuses on, it starts to feel overwhelming. Like it's so far to go to get to that to the finish line. There's all these other good swimmers, etc. Whereas if she just says, you know what? Okay, 1% of the time I'm going to lift my head out of the water and look at the goal, but the other 99% of the time I'm just going to focus on the process, which is the effort I put in, how I give to this whole swimming process, how I move my arms and legs, the rhythm of my body, my technique, my breathing. And then, before, you snaps her finger, before you know it, she's there at the finish line. So I think, relationships are like that. Like if we just focus on show me the money, I want to have the best results and the most beautiful girlfriend or wife and the most handsome or accomplished husband, whichever, then what I often tell people, I say, don't focus on what he drives. Focus on what drives him. Don't focus on how she looks. Focus on how she looks at you.
Right.
So because that's the thing, we get distracted by these, these kind of you remember Ready for the World? They had that song Digital Display. We get focused on I just want to prove to everyone how amazing I am. And so I want a partner that's gonna show me off, and that's a big mistake because you end up stuck with them.
So, Doc, would you promote this line of thinking of, all right, that you have little idiosyncrasies that me, for example, I don't like a woman to sit too far up on my bed, so I make that clear early on. Hey, don't put your butt where I lay my head. I don't know why, I just don't like that. But
okay, you don't like it. You don't like it. Fair
right,
enough,
but,
right?
But I make it clear up front before it turns into an incident where I'm looking at what she just did as a reason to cause that person to be a bad person. I address it early because I'm already foreseeing stuff that irritates me, and this woman is perfectly fine. These are things that irritate me. And as long as I let this person know what irritates me, they can avoid irritating me. So if both people are doing that, I feel like the lines of communication are open, and then you can start to focus on what car you drive and how good we both look, because we know each other's idiosyncrasies. We know the weirdness. We know what we like and don't like, and we understand each other a lot more than just letting stuff fester and blow up because we're not addressing stuff. We're just looking at the positive.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is just being real. And
real, yep. That's what that's how you put it. Real, be real. That's right.
Being real, man, keeping it real. And I think that a way you can start that conversation is to say, you know what, we're each like unique human beings. We each got our own idiosyncrasies, and you know, I really like that we can really be open with each other. Let's tell each other like what, you know, anything that I do that irritates or bothers you, I want you to tell me, and I'll do the same. Like, so, you know, so like, for example, are there any, and just really keeping it real, are there, you know, can you share with me some things that I do that you find annoying or irritating that you'd like me to know about, maybe I can work on? And then let her talk. And then you can say, well, okay, you know, this is going to sound really strange, but so you want to bring some humor into it, right? So it's not too serious. You know, this is going to sound strange, but I don't like butts on my pillow. I don't know why. I just like, you know, pillows for the head, not for the butt. You know, like you know, for me, and I'm not saying even that you have to agree with me, but I just want you to know that's like something that for some whatever reason, that's kind of how I was raised.
Yeah,
you know,
but Doc, what if I like putting my butt on a pillow? And,
here you go.
And
you go.
And Mert is being selfish.
I think the Mert name is wrong.
And if Mert loved me, he would let me put my butt on his pillow. No, but isn't that how some people think, Doc?
Well, that is true. Some people do think that way, and you know that's the thing. You know, relationships are not easy, and they involve like hearing each other out. I think at the end of the day, like each of us has very like fundamental human needs in a relationship, and we don't usually share those with the other person, and we're also usually pretty unskilled at bringing out what those needs are in the other person. And so, for example, when someone says like, yeah, you know, if you love me, you would let me put my butt on your pillow. That's right. For example, that's right. Then instead of like, if you try to argue with that and say, well, no, I just don't like butts on my pillow, then, you know, there's an argument. But if instead you when someone's in that kind of mode where they're expressing any kind of negative emotion, if instead you go into empathy mode and you say, well, so you're feeling like a little disoriented about this or disillusioned. You're thinking like, if I really loved you, then I wouldn't mind wherever your butt goes. Am I understanding you well? Is that how you're feeling? And then she says, well, yeah. I mean, I don't like, you know, I don't think you should be worried about where my butt is going. Like if you really care about me. Okay. So you really feel like, you know, frustrated and kind of sad about this, because you think that I should be accepting of anything about you if I really love you. And then she says, yeah, that's how I feel. And then you can say, well, thank you for sharing that. And would you be willing to hear how I feel about this as well? Yeah, okay. And then say, well, I feel also like confused about this because I don't know why I have this part of me that really like, I just grew up that way. And I think it's something about cleanliness or, you know, whatever it might be. It could be 100 different things, but you try to explain it and say, I just think I think that I wanted to share that with you because I really do care about you. And I just want you to know, like something that's really important to me. And so it's kind of that back and forth. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Cause I try to make them know it's not personal. I'm not calling you dirty because I don't even do it. It's not like I'm doing it and you can't. It's both of us are not allowed to. But I like how you think, Doc. That was good advice.
Oh, Doc.
Well, you know I'll tell you what. If your biggest demand is you don't want someone's butt on your pillow, I think a lot of women will be quite fine with that. You know, I think that's not a deal breaker there. You know?
That's funny, Doc. And on that note, unfortunately, believe it or not, we have to end. For more about Dr. Silard and his great book, Love and Suffering, check out his website, theartoflivingfree.org. Of course, we'll have links posted on our website. Unfortunately, Dr. Silard, we've run out of time. It was an absolute pleasure having you on the program. I hope you'll come back soon.
I definitely want to come back. I really like you guys. And I want to share to your listeners that I'd like to give you guys 2 free books for the holidays.
Whoa, okay.
If you just go to theartoflivingfree.org/free happiness and friendship books. So again, theartoflivingfree.org/free happiness and friendship books. You get the 2 books. You just confirm your email. You get the download links, and that's it. And otherwise, my book, Love and Suffering, it's Anthony Silard, and you can find it on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
That concludes episode number 76, 152 hours of live entertainment. Would you believe it? Thanks to Ryan Pagano, Alex Garrett, Gabby Pisani, everyone behind the scenes at AM 970. We love you. Check out my latest movie, Manor of Darkness. Please, it's playing everywhere. As we wrap up tonight's show, we want to leave you with this. May this Christmas season bring you joy, peace, and the warmth of being surrounded by those you love. Until next week, same time, same place. Ciao, ciao.
Ho, ho, ho! The preceding program is sponsored by Shake It Off Live, LLC.
Hey girl, yes, you. You are seen, you are loved, and you were made for more. Created especially for teen girls, chart-topping Christian artist Ann Wilson invites you to her 40-day devotional, Hey Girl, through honest stories, scripture, and journal prompts. Ann talks about real struggles, comparison, insecurity, doubt, and faith, reminding you that God is always near and fighting for you. Hey Girl, from K-Love Books. Get your copy today at klove.com/books.